We've been completely reworking the classification that's used for Ascomycete fungi globally. It wasn't always fungi for me. It came with the job in a way, but the job has been so interesting that that fungi have kind of come my life in some ways. I've been doing it for 50 years. It's a long time. It kind of keeps you grounded, attached to the kind of real world, if you like. Fungal taxonomy can be a bit of an esoteric kind of subject in a way. The applied work kind of reminds you about why you're doing the more basic taxonomic stuff and why it's useful.
I'm a forensic toxicologist. I set up the toxicology laboratory, started it in Wellington Hospital when I first started my career in 1971. I'm very interested in chemistry, but I'm also very interested in the effect these drugs have on people. And because these were causing so much harm and was beginning to cause harm in New Zealand, that's why I became very interested and wanted to try and reduce the harm in our communities.
I just love science generally, and I've ended up with a career where I've had an oversight of all of NIWA's science, right across freshwater, marine, as well as climate and atmosphere, and it's been absolutely fantastic. But I also love the ocean, and part of my role has been to oversee the management of our research ships, and including the replacement of one of our vessels and building a brand new one. So it's been a pretty exciting journey.
My interest in volcanology was probably first sparked by my grandfather and my father. They were both in aviation, and through their flying careers and helicopters, etc., they supported scientists, flew them around the volcanoes. Also, I was brought up as a teenager in Rotorua, and it's pretty hard not to be aware of the volcanic environment. The job involved a lot of outdoor work, and basically, I was getting paid to go tramping in all these areas that I went on the weekends. And my love of science and the development of science came after enjoying the amazing environments that we got to work in.
So the classifications that I first worked with when I started were developed in the 19th and early 20th centuries. It's up to us to kind of get it right now, and so they'll be used well into the future. And I think that's a good thing to have done, I think.
One of my achievements was making PHF Science an international toxicology laboratory. Well, I've enjoyed the effect we have had, particularly in the communities, helping reduce drug harm by working with overseas early warning systems.
One of the highlights of my career was the establishment of the volcano monitoring capability, and then taking that capability and interfacing it with emergency management and responding agencies in New Zealand. It's all very well if we monitor the volcanoes, but if we don't share that with the responding agencies and don't help them prepare for the hazards and what's associated with it, it's a little bit wasted.
I think the biggest challenge is making sure that New Zealand recognises the importance of science in its future, and it's changing rapidly at the moment, particularly with the introduction of data science and AI. It's going to change the way we do science, but it's also going to enable us to answer and ask different questions. So I would always encourage people to go into science. It's constantly changing, and you're learning something new every day.